What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to Modality Monday. What's up? You guys know how we're gonna get started. Here we go. Salud. Cheers. Let's get it. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta keep that skin shining, skin popping. Gotta keep them organs healthy. Gotta keep that brain hydrated so you aren't getting headaches and all types of confusion and things like that. Gotta drink that water. So just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in. Always means so much when people tap into Modality Monday and hear what I have to say. I'm just another human trying to figure this thing out, and I love sharing things that have helped me on my journey, things that I have seen other people tap into and have had those things help them on their journey. And I've talked about this subject a few times, and as I grow deeper into the things that I talk about, I get new perspectives, I get new knowledge, I get new views, and I want to share them because I hope that it helps you guys out. So we're going to get into it. Today's topic of conversation is a plant-based lifestyle, and I am so thankful for finding a lifestyle, if you will, that has to do with food, that has worked for me. Because I've been a big foodie my whole life, and the benefits of this lifestyle that I live have absolutely changed my life and been so amazing. So the first thing that I want to talk about with living a plant-based lifestyle is, kind of my journey with it. I have been plant-based now for a little over 4 years now, 4.5 years. And as somebody that was a two-sport college athlete, this is the best shape I've ever been in my life. My inflammation in my body is just non-existent now. I've had a knee injury that I've had, a torn ACL. I've had lower back problems my whole life. I've been 270 pounds 2 times. And the first time, me losing the weight took me about a year and a half. And then the second time, me losing the weight, I began drinking Kangen water first, which I talk about all the time. And then I went plant-based about 2 months after drinking the Kangen water. And I went from 270 to about 220, 215 in about 2.5, 3 months. And it's just been so amazing. I think for me, I originally became plant-based because I had learned about Dr. Sebi when I was 15. When people talk about their awakening and things like that, I begin to unveil, if you want to call it that, a lot of things that were going on in the world at a very young age. At 15, I just wasn't in the place at the time to live that lifestyle because of my life journey and the things that I had to go through the things that I had to go through to kind of get where I'm at now. And I'm very thankful for the journey because it taught me a lot of lessons and things like that. But anyway, I learned about Dr. Sebi and plant-based eating when I was 15, and then I got to a point at the age of 27 where I was able to actually apply these teachings to my life. Right, so it started off with me getting off of red meat and pork. So I was eating mainly chicken and seafood. I would have a steak every now and then very long story short, I went to Brazil with my mentor, Dr. Lucas. Shout out to Doc. I went to a vegan restaurant out there, and I remember I ate the food. I'm like, I didn't know vegan food could taste this good. And for a lot of people out there that like to eat, maybe I don't want to say junk food, but you like to eat pretty good and unhealthy. Maybe after you have that meal, you get like the itis and you're like super tired and slumped. I ate the vegan food and I felt so amazing. I didn't feel tired after. I actually had more energy, and I was like, whoa, if I'm in Brazil and I can be vegan for a week or 2 weeks, I could buy this for the rest of my life. Now, I do want to be really honest, and at a point in my life, I have a lot of friends who are plant-based, vegan, and activists, and I think maybe I was kind of like scared to say this in front of them because I didn't want people not to like me, or whatever it was, whatever that ego part of myself was. But I'm at a point in my journey where I'm so free that I don't whatever I see and someone judges me for that or doesn't want to be around me for that, that's okay. Like, that's their personal choice. I'm at a point in my life where I can say that if I need to eat meat again, I would do that if my body calls for it. If it's like something that I have to do, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that the meat is prepared in like the healthiest way possible, probably some halal food where it's not tortured to death or whatever that is. But I will also say, I am also at a point where I don't see myself needing to have meat right now because of how healthy I am. I'm out here, you see the muscles, all that. And I think that's a big fear for people too, is a lot of people will be like, well, if I go vegan, like how am I gonna keep the muscle on? How am I gonna do that? It's eating a lot of whole foods and eating a lot when you do eat, like you have to eat. It's like anyone trying to bulk up, like you're gonna have to eat more, right? So just eat more plants, instead of having the meat, eat more quinoa, eat more avocado, eat more mushrooms, add more sources of energy into your meal, right? And also one thing that I love about being plant-based is that in today's industry of packaging and killing animals, it's so atrocious. Like, there are these farms where they're literally beating the cows to death, they're beating the animals to death, they're like torturing them before they prepare them to be shipped off. So if any being, any creature is in a state of fear, it's dying in that energy, and then you're consuming that energy, and people are trying to figure out why they're walking around like manically depressed with all this anxiety. It's because you're eating the energy. You're eating that energy of depression. You're eating that energy of anxiety and like the ultimate fear. Like, imagine having your child stripped away from you and beaten to death right in front of you. What that would do to you. It's gonna cause some like very life-altering effects. Are gonna be very hard for you to get out of. It's saying animals have emotions and feelings just like we do. So if you're eating that, it's not it's really not good for you, right? So one thing that I love about being plant-based is that I am not contributing to that part of the society, right? I'm not contributing to that industry, right? And another thing that a plant-based diet has done for me, it's allowed me to connect more with my body. I'm so in tune with my body, like even, as an athlete with my workouts, like I know when it's time to bulk up, I know when it's time to lift heavier, I know when it's time to take a break and like, lift less heavy weight and do more reps. I'm so in tune with my body. It allows that connection because I'm just clear, and I don't have to, my body's not working overtime to break down a diet of eating meat 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Our body is not made to eat meat 3 times a week, 7 days a week. If you look at even our ancestors, they had to hunt for their food, right? And guess what? Sometimes they would go days without eating until they got that meal. And then like that's another thing, right? Is like, can you get to a point where you adjust your mind to be able to like do things in moderation? For example, one of my best friends, Blake, when I began to go plant-based, like him and his wife started to see how I was moving. So they're like, yo, B, like we're going a weekend out of the month dairyless, right? And then they felt really good, so they went from a weekend out of the month to a week out of the month dairyless. I remember the homie would hit me up and he's like, yo, whenever I don't have dairy, I feel so good. And I'm like, B, doesn't it feel good to feel good? So keep doing the things that are gonna make you feel good, right? And I'm not someone that's gonna sit here and say like, yo, everyone needs to go vegan, you have to go plant-based. What I'm gonna say is that it would be suggested for you to be as healthy as you can to eat in moderation, like the meat that you're eating, right? Like maybe go 4 or 5 days with like a diet of having, meat 1 to 2 times a day, and then a weekend where you're like plant-based, and see how it makes you feel. Because I guarantee that if you do it right, where you're not eating the processed Impossible Beyond Meats, like you're eating whole foods, like you're getting rice and beans and quinoa and mushrooms and peppers and sauteing, and just, you can make some really good stuff, some jackfruit, and you eat that for 2 days, you're gonna be like, dang, I have so much energy, like my body's feeling good. So because you're giving yourself a break and your stomach a break from trying to like process and break down this meat that is pumped with a whole bunch of chemicals and a whole bunch of like, if you go to the store and get these new rotisserie chickens, yo, they're like huge. Why? Because they're putting a whole bunch of saline in it and chemicals in it to make it way more, so you think that you're getting more for your money. But are you getting more for your money? Because what happens when you're eating these foods that have all these chemicals and things in it and products in it that you shouldn't be eating? Guess what? You're probably gonna get sick. Ooh, you might get cancer. Why is cancer at such a high rate? Why is diabetes at such a high rate? Why is heart disease at such a high rate? Because they're giving you foods that have all these chemicals and crap in it that are making you sick. So people, like, I'll get crap all the time, and I will say I'm somebody that eats out a lot. I need to be at home cooking more, but I'd rather spend my money and on things that are gonna give me life instead of down the line having to spend $50,000 to $60,000 on hospital bills for cancer treatments, right? And that is what living a plant-based lifestyle gives me, the peace of mind to know that my health is as taken care of and in my hands as it possibly can be. And like, as you can like tell from what I've said, staying away from the processed meats that like the processed plant-based meats like the Beyond and Impossible, if you read the back of the ingredients, there's so many harmful ingredients in there. Like, yo, I shouldn't have 70 ingredients in this thing that I can't even pronounce and I don't even know what they are, right? So for me personally, I stay away from anything that is processed. I eat a lot of whole foods, lots of smoothies, lots of just like really body nourishing consumables that I can put in my body. A lot of minerals, right? Minerals are so important because minerals are basically like, it's like if your body's like an electric grid, the minerals are allowing for the current to flow through your body from your heart down to your feet back up as sustainable as possible, right? You need the minerals to help transport through the blood, the oxygen, the nutrients, everything, right? Minerals are so important. So you gotta take your minerals, you gotta take the vitamins that are gonna just put your body in a great place to be as optimal, functional, and to heal itself as much as possible, right? People are talking about like alkalinity and what alkaline is. What alkaline means is oxygen rich. No disease, including cancer, can live in an oxygen rich environment. So when you're eating foods that have lots of oxygen in it, like greens, like kale, like spinach, like blueberries, you're eating those consistently, you're gonna put a lot of oxygen in your body, and you're gonna get to a point where you're almost like reverse aging yourself, right? Or you're slowing down that aging process, because that's what antioxidants do. They slow down the aging, they slow down disease, they eliminate disease really if you're eating a more oxygen rich diet. If you're drinking things that have oxygen, i.e. Kangen water. Kangen water has so much oxygen in it, it's really good for you. And living a plant-based lifestyle is just so beneficial. From what I've seen with my lifestyle, again, the health benefits, I don't get sick. My immune system, I feel like Superman. My immune system is like on point. I don't get sick. I barely get sick. I maybe get sick like once every 3 years if I do a little cold or something like that, but it goes away like that. My skin is glowing. If you look at pictures of me when I was like 25, 26, people would guess that I was 34, 35 at those times. When drinking Kangen water and living a plant-based lifestyle, when people see me, they guess that I'm like 26 or 27. And it's because I've been able to figure out and learn things that have helped my health, right? And a lot of people's resistance to a plant-based lifestyle is like, it's not sustainable, it's not this, it's not that. Everything. I know people that have been plant-based for 40 years. I know people that have been plant-based for 30 years. I know people that have lived a life 70, 75, and they died not eating meat, right? Anything is possible, and especially something that is beneficial for you is possible if you learn how to do it correctly, right? You've been programmed to have the 3 meats a deal. We've been told to drink like milk, right? This milk that they give you at the stores has so much pus in it, has so much chemicals in it, and dairy is one of the most inflammatory causing things that you can consume. And a really good example of this, when I look at babies who are drinking formula or milk from the store compared to the babies that are breastfed and eating a more like plant-based diet growing up, the babies that are drinking the milk and the formula, they're all snotty. They always have all this mucus. Babies really shouldn't be all mucusy and snotty like that. And then you look at the babies that are being breastfed naturally and eating natural foods, there's no mucus, there's no snot. And that just goes to show you that these things that, you know, we've been programmed to consume on a daily basis are very bad for our body. And mucus will hold and trap a lot of disease, right? So when people talk about, being inflamed, you want to get that mucus out as much as possible. And the way to do that is to start consuming things that are going to give you oxygen and to push out all that mucus, right? So the plant-based lifestyle has been amazing for me. I'm 4.5 years in. I'm gonna keep going because I feel really good. I sleep better. My energy, I have so much energy throughout my day. I don't crash like I used to when I was eating a whole bunch of meat. I used to be all constipated. I used to have this big old belly, and it just wasn't for me. And again, this is my perspective. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. Whatever that I've said that in this video that maybe you can take and pull from, that maybe help you, like the moderation, like try it. Just try it and see what happens. The only thing you can do is try it and break out of this mindset of you have to have meat 3 times a day, 7 days a week, right? And see what happens for you. Your body will thank you. The world will thank you. Like the animals. Like shout out to the animals out there, man. Like we all gotta love each other, and that includes loving the animals, right? Again, I hope that we all win. We all take care of our health. We all elevate. And the way to do that is to take care of your health. And there's ways to take care of your health. Like do things in moderation, try different diets, try different things that that will benefit you, and just see what happens. You don't have to stick for it forever, but it will help implement a understanding that, that old system that was giving my parents cancer, diabetes, putting people in grave at very young ages because of the things that they were consuming. It doesn't serve you anymore. So try something else that's gonna help you out. So I hope that this video or whatever insight perspective that I shared helped. Don't be in my comment section trying to fight me or battle me about plant-based lifestyle, because what I'm doing is working for me, and I hope maybe something that I've said will help benefit you. So it's one thing to have our dreams. You have to be healthy so that you can live your dreams. And just peace, love, and have a great day. Have a great week. Peace out.